We'll resume the meeting. Mr. Clark, Mr. Smith, next presentation, please.
Yeah, so our second presentation is in regard to our fishing trip and field day for students with special needs. Before I do an introduction, Miss Liz Gladish, teacher here on staff here at the high school, will be sharing some information with us. But prior to turning it over to her, I would just like to say that you often hear me talk about a few things, probably more than a few, that people should really see if they're, I'll say, for example, the Back to School Bash. If you've never been there, you should always see it at least one time. And that, I would put this event that Liz is getting ready to share about at the top of that list. If you've never had the opportunity to be there, to witness it yourself, I would encourage you to check it out at least one time. It is one-of-a-kind event, amazing. And so at this time, I will turn it over to Miss Gladish.
Thank you for having me this evening. My name is Liz Gladish, and I am a 25-year veteran Spanish teacher here at Fairfield High School. And I coordinate the fishing trip and field day for students with special needs. Here with me tonight are Mindy Reed and Jay Muldoon, who assist me in making this day the best ever. I would like to thank the board and Mr. Smith for their generous donation to the fishing trip this year. And tonight you will get a glimpse as to what our donations go towards. First, some history. We have been told that the fishing trip started over 40 years ago. We don't know the exact year it started, and I've been hearing the time frame over 40 years ago since I've been working with the fishing trip, and that's been 10 years now. So your guess is as good as mine as to how long ago this actually started. Gary Staggs, a former PE teacher here at the high school, began by taking one class of multiple handicapped students fishing at the Optimist Club on Joe Nuxall Way. He also took a handful of seniors to help, and that one small act started this beautiful tradition. Over the course of those 40 years, Gary retired, leaving the job to another PE teacher, and when she retired, it again changed hands. By that time, the new high school had been built, and the number of students with special needs in our community had grown exponentially. Therefore, the number of seniors needed to help had grown as well. By the time I took over, we were working with approximately 400 students altogether. The students that attend the fishing trip come from the multiple handicapped units, the social communication or autism units, and the intellectual disability units. Mark is so excited to share It's a good one. And also the intellectual disability units from every building in the district. And because they wouldn't necessarily be able to participate in a typical field day at their own schools, we make sure all of the activities are accessible and safe for everyone. What started as a fishing trip that included some field activities now includes music and puppet shows, face painting, giant Connect 4, beanbag toss, cornhole games, a bubble station, sidewalk chalk, touch a truck with Fairfield Fire and Police vehicles, visits from princesses, the Cincinnati Reds mascots, and the Joe Nuxall Miracle League mascot, Joey. And our newest addition is a petting zoo with adorable baby animals, courtesy of FHS biology teacher Katie Riddell. A picnic lunch is provided by the Optimist Club, and seniors bring baked goods for dessert. And a crowd favorite, the club's truck comes and hands out ice cream cones to all attendees. Everything is either donated by the vendors or is funded through donations like yours, so it is truly a community event. In just a minute, you will see the promotional video that we used for this year's seniors, but first, I would like to extend an invitation to you all. This year, the event will take place on Tuesday, June 30th, with a rain date of Thursday, May 2nd. If you have any time from about 10 to 1, please swing by the Optimist Club on Joe Nuxall Way and see the magic firsthand.
have any questions?
Is it in the morning, afternoon? Did I miss that?
Seniors come at 8, and then the first buses start rolling in around 9:30.
Okay.
And then they stay until the buses start rolling out at 1. So it's a very fast day. It's like 3 hours till everybody there.
What a
Liz,
great
would you
program.
mind I don't know if it's still the same. I can't always get there at the same time, but
Yeah.
is it still like a huge party when the kids get off the buses there at
Oh,
9:30?
yeah.
You want to talk a little bit about that?
I do, and Mindy told me to cut that part of my.
Okay.
I would love to talk about it, so.
Yeah.
I know, it's teasing. And I'm nervous, so, yeah, it's a huge party. So the seniors all get a buddy, they're a buddy to a student for that day, so they get an information sheet for them. And then as the schools come in, their group teaches the seniors a welcome song, and they're singing along as they form tunnels off the buses, and all the kids come out, and we frantically try to find who is matching with whom and send them off on their way. But it is, I could cry at that. That's
Yeah.
magical. Yeah.
That's awesome.
Liz, Mindy, and Jay, thank you for putting this together and doing what you do for so many years. And I was kind of leading up to that question is, like, the weeks up to that, how do the students, are they like, yeah, it's tomorrow, or I can't wait for it, or what's their reaction day to day, week to week, and closer it gets to
The
that?
students with special needs, well, those teachers kind of use that as bribery a little
Yeah,
bit
yeah,
throughout the year, you know, like if you want to go on a fishing trip, you have to have good behavior. But yeah, they look for it every year. One year we had to have it in the arena because it rained so much that the rain day didn't even work. So the rain day, Bill was principal then, they fished on a Wii, but did everything else in the arena, and it, you know. Yeah, we did. We made it work somehow, but, and the seniors, like, maybe you can take over at this point because I can't, like.
The seniors, you know, I gotta tell you, if you, sometimes we get bad raps, you know, our kids. Show up to see the seniors. They are phenomenal. They are literally phenomenal, like, and their lives are changed in like, probably about 30 seconds. Because the kid comes off the bus, we're like, who has Rico? Who's got Rico? I got Rico. Changed life.
Yeah.
His life has just been changed. That senior's life has just been changed. And then their reaction afterwards, one of the pictures, and then you saw all the seniors all gathered together. The feedback they give us is unbelievable. Like what this meant to them. Just that one day, and it's 3 hours.
Right.
It's like that's all they get, and they've changed their life. To your first original question, kids will ask day one to Joanne, when's the fishing trip? Day one, so August 6th. The kids will ask, when's the fishing trip? And all year long, it's when's the fishing trip? Because it is just the greatest day that Fairfield City School District has to offer. It's not, and I'm not lying to you. And I do theater, and I teach. It is the greatest day Fairfield City School District has to offer. No matter what you've been through, it doesn't compare. We could have won the greatest football game ever. Not better than this day.
Yeah.
It's unbelievable.
Yeah.
And they all have their shirts that they get to wear because every school has their own shirt, and so then they keep their shirts like every year because that's like a big deal. Like you get your class shirts, but for the seniors, it is like the chance they're at this point in the year where they're done, and then they spend a day where literally they serve,
And learn.
and it changes. Like, it changes that perspective as it's like, oh, it's all about me, I'm a senior, you know, and then it's like, I just served all day.
Yeah.
And that really is, and lots of students that have changed their majors afterwards
Yes, to special education.
to special education, like, just, yeah. And the other thing I want to say is that some of the kids that are a little, sometimes
Rough
around the edges, sandpaper people, I don't know which one to call them. You know, that's what my professor used. Is that those students, you see, they thrive that day. You know, they may not be those academic students, and then in the classroom, they're always getting, and then you see, and you're like, did you see so-and-so? Oh my gosh, did you see him hugging? Like, they hold hands all day long. Yeah, sometimes all you do is they're sitting, and all they want to do is hold their hand. And that's what some of the kids don't do any of the games. They just want to hold your hand. For some kids, just want to hold that microphone by the belt chip. And that's what we do all day. And their seniors, like, okay, like they want to run around maybe and be with their friends. It's not about them. It is about serving these kids, and it's pretty awesome.
One of the honors that we have is Tilly Krasinski, whose picture's out here. Huge proponent of the fishing trip. Was amazing what he did, went into a different field of studies, and then, of course, he gave his life to serve the country. But he gave his life to serve the country because of what he did here at the fishing trip. So,
And he would volunteer in the MH room, like every day of his trip.
I think the selflessness of that for the kids, the students to see is just huge. Like I said, I'm sure it's life-changing for many of them and those sandpaper students. It really brings them down to reality of it's not about me. There is other things out there, and even though they may have something bad going on in their life or whatever it is that they're experiencing or have experienced, that puts a different perspective on their future outlook. So that's fantastic. And I love the community part of it too. Nuxall, Joyce Park, Optimist, the school, that's what Fairfield's about.
Literally touches every part of Fairfield. That part is really, and then you tell me your big fun thing. She had something new every.
Come on, Liz, tell us your big fun thing.
This is pretty cool. And community coming
Yeah.
out and starting a whole new movement.
So I do like to do something new every year. The petting zoo was last year, and this year, well, in years past, I wanted the seniors, of the students with special needs, the seniors, I would get them like a sash, or I wanted them to be like, recognized in some way. But the boys don't like to do that sort of thing, and we have 13 seniors this year, and 11 are boys. So I was like, we can't do that. We have to come up with something new. So we have partnered with a company that works with the community, and I'm gonna forget the name, so forgive me, but do you guys remember the name? No.
They're right off of Factory, like.
Yeah, but they are making those senior signs that all of the athletes and the music, the band members, for them, and they're gonna be
Nice.
hanging at the fishing field.
That's awesome.
Sorry.
Very cool. Very
It's
good.
personal for me, because I have a daughter with special needs, so very important.
It's important to us too. So thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
thanks for having us out.
Yeah.
Yes, thank you for being here. Okay, pull it together, Mr. Smith.
I know. Liz, what are you doing? Right at the end, too. Right at the end, right before you turn it back to me.